One. And hi, hello.
Hi.
Welcome to Queers Guild.
Hello.
Welcome to indieRevue, our weekly indie Lollapalooza. I've used that word. What other words? Burning Man.
You've used that one too,
I've used that one
actually.
too. There's a lot of terms that I know in my head, but I can't use because they're offensive. So
Gala, extravaganza, celebration,
mm-hmm.
um, fest, festival.
Best, sure, why not? Yeah. We have funnel cakes here too. You'll have to you'll have to trust us that we have them. They're just off screen. I promise. Yeah. Tonight we are playing Cloister, a wonderful little two-player game. Similar but not similar at all to a game we played about 2 weeks back. Apollo 47, which was about a person in space talking to someone else over the radio. Um, this is a similar aspect, but it's much won't be as wacky and silly as last time.
Completely similar, like
Different
base
tone.
components.
Yeah, it's like how you can make different dishes out of like a breakfast dish and a dinner dish out of like the same ingredients. Exactly.
Cupcakes and garlic bread.
There's no yeast in cupcakes, so
But they both need flour and
okay.
water and to be baked. They're both baked goods, require flour.
Yeah.
And yeah.
All right. So the Cloister is a two-player game. Um, one of us is going to be a pilot, and the other one is going to be the operator. The pilot has been away from the home planet for a very long time, but this is the final leg of their journey to home. Um, yeah, the operator is someone running an overnight shift in the communications center. Uh, there's usually no one flying at this point, and there is no scheduled arrival. And so, and a sudden communication is unexpected. Okay. So, who we didn't decide this beforehand. What do you want to be?
We didn't. Do you have any preferences?
No.
In that case, then I would like to be the pilot.
All right. Pilot. You must pick one from each category of a list. So you have to choose what your ship is like and what your mood is like, and your name.
Okay. My ship is outdated. My mood is homesick.
Surprised cranky isn't an option. Just like please.
Please, I just want to get home. And my name is Gwen.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm. Gwen by far.
You motherfucker. You motherfucker. All right. Now the operator gets to pick one. My job, if either what my job is like and what my voice is like. Hmm. I'm gonna pick fun for my job.
The little blurb does say that you get to watch like TV for most of the time on the overnight shift.
Nice. And my voice is soothing.
Personally, in real life, in actual life, I think you have a very soothing voice, so that's a good choice.
Well, now I don't want to do that one.
Fine, I think your voice sucks, and I hate hearing it.
Awesome. Nice. All right. Let's see. My name will be. Give me a moment. My name will be Carla. We got Gwen coming in and Carla at the communication station. Okay, so the first part, so to speak, of play is titled "Can You Hear Me?" Uh, I'll just read here what the text says. It says, "You're almost home, but you'll need help for this last step. Reentry is complicated at the best of times, and you'll need to do it manually as you don't have a navigation computer. Luckily, you've rigged up a communication system that you're almost sure will work. Someone at Systems Control can help you if you could just reach them. Pilot, roll a die and find the associated outcome below."
Here's my die. A 5.
You come through loud and clear.
Nice. My jury rigged communications device
All right,
works. Why
operator.
is there lipstick in my dice bag?
Wild.
Past me, what the fuck?
A persistent buzzing starts up somewhere in the empty office. You eventually isolate the sound, finding an older machine running some legacy software. There is a button on the machine labeled Accept. You press it. Pilot, your call goes through. What do you say?
Oh, this is Gwen Hyfar of the spaceship um Caliban Caliburn Caliburn. Um Requesting assistance with reentry.
Um, Operator, there is a pilot in orbit, no known relation to your organization. They are entering descent and they need your help now. How do you respond? Hi there, Gwen. Um, we're not seeing any Caliburn on our manifests.
Oh, you wouldn't. I don't know exactly who I patched through to, but I'm an independent um, pilot, and my nav system's kind of busted. So if you could help me not uh, crash land directly into the mountains,
Well, that would
that would
just
be
be.
fantastic.
I would be more than delighted to help you not crash and die. Yes. Um. All right, Gwen, are you in stationary orbit right now? What is your situation? Let's see. Let's get our lay of the land, so to speak. Let's see if we can figure out what we can do.
Yep, I have entered low Earth orbit. Low or whatever. I don't know. It's been a while. Um, I'm in orbit. I'm going in a straight line. Let me see if I can figure out any landmarks to give you.
Yes, that would be fantastic. Any land masses you can spot with your eyes?
So in this is section 2 orbit. Um, gonna roll a die again. Or the display of city lights is confusing and messy. It has changed while you were away, but you round the edge of the planet into the sunlight, and soon you pick up a familiar coastline, then a mountain range, then a river. A memory emerges, and you can approximate your position. I am just passing over, I think, the West White Mountains, heading toward, uh, heading away from the uh, Blue Coast toward the uh, Olivand River.
Okay, let me just get. Can you give me your current velocity?
You want me to do math?
Just the speed.
I don't know. It's
In kilometers per second, I mean, you can say a couple hundred.
that would be 400 kilometers per second, about plus or minus. I am roughly midway between what looks to be Morgaville to the north and looks like Arthur to the south, just
Uh,
for latitude, longitude.
right. Got you. Thank you so much. We're gonna get you right out of this little mm, twist, so to speak. Unfortunately, we're gonna have to wait for another full orbit in order to get your flight path determined. Um, if you could just please hold. Operator. You need to chart the pilot's position against your own systems. The machine you are using is outdated, but it parallels the ones that you were trained on. Using the information the pilot gave you in combination with your organization's radar, you think you've approximated the location of the pilot's ship, though of course you can't be entirely certain. There is silence on the line as you both pause. It will be a few minutes before anything needs to happen. The pilot's ship will need to complete another full orbit of the planet before your flight path can be determined. Operator, you notice that your whole body is tense, so you try to relax and think of something to say. You clear your throat. Um, so, Gwen, what's your plans looking like when you get home?
Well, first I was hoping to see if that little crepe place off the corner of West and Johnson is still open.
Where in what city?
They may have changed it. I remember there were talks about changing it, but last I was here, it was Lance.
Oh, yeah. Oh, you've been gone a while, haven't you?
Yep.
Okay, well, uh, we can. That's a sort of a long story, so I think it might be better for you to hear that one um, in person. But I hear over where I live, there's a nice crepe place. Maybe it's the same chain. Uh,
Ooh,
yeah. We'll get you landed here on our landing strip. So perhaps I can show you around.
that'd be nice. I'm sure things, more than just a few things have changed since I was gone.
Yes, yes. I can't really see of your ship's systems at the moment, but just the fact that it's being connected to this old model here, a T1000, gotta gotta say it's at least a decade or two out of date.
Oh, at least the comm system is one of the newer systems on this old junker.
Yeah, you are still using radio waves, which is um, vintage, I guess, is what, like what my girlfriend would say. Um, yeah, tracing a path. This is part 3.
Part 3.
Operator, you can see on your flickering machine that the pilot has completed another rotation of the planet. You are as certain as you'll ever be about their path. You need to find them a landing site. Operator, roll a die. Add the pilot's previous roll. What was your previous roll?
What's my previous?
It was a 4. I recorded it for you.
Yes.
Okay. I also rolled a 4. So, got an 8 total. All right. Gwen, we're going to work on a little unconventional landing. Um, just south of here, there's a strip of land in the desert. It's it's going to be a harder surface than a water landing, but the I'm confident I can get you to slow down enough that your land landing will be safe, perfectly safe.
Well, I am trusting you. But
Pilot, you will receive this information and nod. You will soon need to begin steering your craft to align with this path, but you have a few minutes before anything happens, and you find yourself tapping your console, wanting to fill the empty air. Oh, we just got raided. Hi, library. Oh my gosh. Hi. What is going on?
hi. Oh, hi, Hexavexagon.
Oh my gosh. Hi. I'm
Pie
so
raid.
so. This is. I love pie.
I
My God.
love I love the name Pibrary. I think I'm just rotating that in my brain right now.
It's like like a library for pie.
Mm-hmm.
Where it's like a collection of little drawers that you pull out, and there's the pie inside, and then the recipe inside
Mm-hmm.
the pie. You have to eat it first.
Yeah.
Yeah, go through a lot of pies.
Someone there's someone there who just has to
Keep baking all the pies.
bake a
Yeah,
pie and put the recipe back into it again
yeah. I mean, it's
over and over.
that's how a recipe stays alive.
Can we just play a game about that?
You did just play a game about that. Anyway, thank you, everyone, for joining us. To catch you up to speed, we're playing Cloister. It's a two-player role-playing game where one of us is an operator on the ground, and the other one is a pilot in a spaceship coming in for a final descent. The operator and the pilot have to work together to find a safe landing space. So far, we've chatted with my operator named Carla and Vico's pilot named Gwen, as we're just charting out the flight path and we're thinking about doing a desert landing, which is very unconventional. Uh, 'Cause most actual space flights have had water landings.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, I know too much about actual space things.
Now, I, the pilot, am going to fill in some dead air. Hey, Carla. Uh, what? What's your what's your neighborhood like? You mentioned a crepe place. Anything else around there?
Oh, I mean, it's pretty. It's a nice neighborhood. Um, yeah, lovely people. It's a little out of the city. Um, Real expensive to live that close in the city. Um, but everyone knows each other, and it's really just a tight knit community. We have our own little community garden. Um, out of a lot that was abandoned for decades. Oh, it was um yeah, it was it's like a I mean at a glance it's sort of like a typical suburban area, but it's not like how it used to be. Uh, Things aren't as divided as they were. It's a lot safer now. Um, yeah,
Sounds nice.
it is. I'm sorry. It's just I don't really talk about it much. Everyone here, most of them are city livers or stuff like that, so it's hard to relate and to get them to like believe that it is safe. You know.
Yeah, had some of the same problem.
Um, that must have been a long time for you though.
Hmm, yeah, yeah, a long time. But, you know, you go to space and everyone has an opinion about it.
That's for sure. At least 10 people have to argue before any flight takes off here. And we have like hundreds that go every day. You can imagine the yelling. Alright. uh, Part 4, Deorbit, which is my campaign to get rid of Orbit's gum. They've had it too good for too long. Anyway, Chapter 4, Deorbit. Pilot, it is time to nudge your ship out of orbit. The planet will do most of this work as you entangle yourself in its gravity, but first you'll need to slow down your orbital speed. Pilot, roll a die. Record this number for use again in 2 turns.
6.
You flip your craft around, firing directly against your rotational speed. As you slow the speed of your orbit, you begin to gently descend. Operator,
Smooth.
smooth as butter. There is not much for you to do. You sit in nervous silence while the pilot completes this maneuver. You can hear them holding their breath. Finally, they confirm that they have begun descent. In a few moments, you will need to help them track their angle of entry, but for now, the planet is simply drawing them back in. In this moment of quiet, ask the pilot one of the following. Hmm. Have uh, have crepes been the only thing you've been wondering about?
I mean, that crepe places was always
Was really
pretty
good,
good.
yeah. But
Right.
I mean, anything else? You gonna be happy to not eat, food out of a bag?
I'm looking forward to fresh
Yeah,
fruit,
yeah.
strawberries. There was a farm near where I grew up, just the best strawberries. We'd go, you could pick them yourself, uh,
Really?
pay by the pound. Just amazing.
Wow, that must have been. Wow, that was years ago. The the area must have been, the soil must have been rich enough for the strawberries, unless it was a greenhouse.
I think they were talking about hybridizing, moving into greenhouses. Crepes with kiwi fruit, crepes with boysenberry, crepes with Doris plum. Listen, the crepe is the perfect vehicle for literally any ingredient.
It's just a thin pancake.
Exactly. My mom and I, when I still lived with her before getting my own place, we would make crepes. We would make dinner crepes and fill them with like vegetables and like ranch dressing and stuff. And then after that, we would cover like the leftover crepes with Nutella and whipped cream.
Nice.
We would just have crepe days.
Crepe day. Love it. All right.
Anyway,
That was your answer.
Perfect food. No notes.
No notes. Perfect food. A plus. Any food, any food that contains things, that is the container for other food. Usually perfect in every single way. Taco, crepe, um,
Pita.
pita. Why am I suddenly? I mean, pie crust, pie.
Mm-hmm.
Foods that contain foods that have a layer, a crust, so to speak,
Bao.
a surface from
Samosa.
like an earth from which taco, crepe, the only two foods. Is it a taco? Or is it a crepe? It's kind of like, is
It's
it a
a
hamburger or is it a hot dog?
cuisine peaked when humans realized that they could wrap a carb
Mm-hmm.
around another food.
Another carb. Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
that's we figured that out.
And it's all but
And
downhill from there.
yeah,
Yeah.
basically.
All right. So, Chapter 5 Descent. Operator, the pilot has begun their descent towards this planet. You need to help them calculate their velocity and angle for re entry. The machine you are using to chart their path is whirring, displaying thousands of possible trajectories. Operator, roll a die. 5. I'm going to record this number for future reference, the secret tool that'll help us later. All right. 5 and 6. The correct angle is obvious, although you check it against every eventuality, it holds true. You read it over the air 3 times.
We've been rolling pretty
We've
good.
been killing it, which I can't wait for everything to fall apart at the end. All right. Um, all right, Gwen. Just give me 1 second. I'm just triple checking, triple confirming. This is an unconventional landing, so I just want to make sure this is 300% accurate. And also, this machine is very old and it's not calculating it for me automatically. So, okay, you're gonna want to come in at roughly 7 degrees pitched down. You'll want to slow your velocity down to maybe 500 meters per second. All right. Do you read this? And I'm sending you coordinates and for the landing zone. Uh, I know your navigation's down, but at least you'll be able to pinpoint it, the general area. And here is the angle and the trajectory. Did you get that okay?
I got it. I am adjusting my trajectory now.
Hey, pilot, you grit your teeth and begin to body the ship about, attempting to hold it steady against the heat and the speed. You roll left, then right. You got to do the Star Trek thing. Then right, then left again. But you find your mind drifting towards home. Pilot asks the operator one of the following questions.
Hey, Carla, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
Gwen.
You got like you got pets or anything? You, just
Uh,
my family used to my uncle breeds sheepdogs, or he did.
oh, wow. Yeah, we have my girlfriend always says I can only really raise a pet rock, but somehow we've managed to keep our our bunny alive for a
Oh,
couple of years now. Um, we know like they're endangered, and so we want to make sure that he's okay, like he's healthy and has a safe place to live. Um, we.
you were crafting quite the narrative for this
I'm
planet.
sorry that I'm role playing and world building at the same time. Sorry that I'm doing my fucking job.
There was a planet I was on a couple years back. It was um half of it was just wildlife sanctuary. The rabbit population was almost back up to uh to pre-burn numbers.
Wow. I think I read an article about that somewhere.
Hmm. I mean,
That's
all
pretty far out.
wild, not pets,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
I got to go down one of those like covered double-sided glass or
Oh,
uh,
right.
like walkways so that the animals can't see you and won't spook, and
Hmm.
they were cute.
Yeah, yeah, he's a little fluffy guy. um, yeah, his name is Buns. Not very original, I know. I didn't name him. My girlfriend did, and I'm not bothered by it.
I think my uncle had three generations of dogs named Spot, Spot Junior,
Spot the
Spot the
third.
third. Mm-hmm.
Mm,
Because he let um his kids name him.
and every single time.
Yeah.
Do you think that by the third time it was just to keep the joke going?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, I bet. Okay, looks like we're going into separation. All right. Pilot, this next bit is tricky. You'll have to be precise. You need to separate the shielded aerodynamic part of the ship that you are in from all the extraneous parts that have gotten you here. The rest of your ship will burn up in the atmosphere, and you need to get away from it before it does. Pilot, roll a die. Add the operator's roll from the last turn and your previous roll from the turn before to this number. What was your number?
My previous number was 6
6 plus 5, already 11,
and a 1.
and a 1, 12. All right. Separation complains. The ship wasn't made for this. The skeleton of your craft pulls you off balance as your module disconnects from first one side, then another. You're sideways, but falling faster, and away from the pieces. You fight to maintain balance, but you are free. Operator, you are quiet while the pilot completes the delicate task, and you are glad to hear their confirmation when it is finished. After a pause, you ask the pilot one of the following questions. All right, Gwen, you are almost home. All right, I know this is the scary part. Um, so just tell me, where are you gonna stay after this? Where are you gonna live?
Well, I actually inherited my uncle's farm. So, it doesn't turn much of a profit these days, what with the soil depletion
Yeah,
and all. But
but I hear they're
his
making like big strides in reconstitution.
yeah, and I mean the sheepdog uh, business is still big. I mean, not many sheep, but people love dogs. Um, his kids don't have much mind for it. Uh, you know, one's a sculptor. Um, great, great art. I love seeing her stuff, but that takes all her time.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, yeah, I got that. Oh, that sounds like gonna be a lot of fun.
Vexagon is in the chat talking about their mom having two cats, wanted unique names for them, but rejected everything we suggested, so we started calling them Fluff and Tiger out of spite.
God bless.
My stepmom, when she and my dad first got together, she had the roundest cat in the world. The cat's name was Fluffy.
Yeah, yeah, that tracks. I think your mom did it as a way of reverse psychology effects. Just like every time you're like, oh, I'm gonna call him Fluff, and she's like, I don't like that. And you're like, well, I'm gonna like it even more now, kind of thing. Fluff. Yeah, that's what I think. All right, part 7. Waiting. Operator, there is nothing left for you to do. but you still catch yourself moving wildly through the machine interface, combing for one last piece of information, one last directive to pass along. You can hear the pilot breathing heavily on the line. Pilot, your hands are shaking. You can't tell if it is from the rattling ship, the currents of fiery plasma streaming around you, or your own grasping a grip. You take a deep breath and another. It is hot. The air tastes stale. Your body is heavy. The glass of the window is darkened by fire and you cannot see outside. Pilot, ask the operator one of the following.
Hey, Carla.
I'm
Um,
here. I'm here.
weird request, but do you mind telling me a story?
Sure, what kind?
And I don't know, maybe one you liked when you were a kid.
Oh, gosh. You know, one of my favorite stories, my baba used to tell me. She would she lived in when things were a lot greener, uh would tell me about how many noises there would be at night, and the little just the sound of birds and bugs and animals. And it was I always wondered what that would sound like. And I know there are recordings, but it's just not the same, I guess. uh Anyway, my baba would tell me about a time where she heard like a crying sound outside at night, and she was was convinced it was like another person, and she tried to tell her parents about it, and they wouldn't let her go out there, saying what were saying they couldn't hear it, or there it was just some animal. Um, but Baba is stubborn and determined, and so she went out and looked for it, and it took her through the forest, way out deep, and I'm sure halfway through she was convinced that she was being lured by some supernatural creature. But what she found was it was a fox. It was She was hurt, um, and my baba mended or pulled her from the route that she was stuck on. Um, it was a little scary to touch a wild animal, and I know my girlfriend. She's a zookeeper, so she would tell me like don't touch wild animals, kind of thing. Yeah, but uh, Baba, she just had this moment with the fox, and it sort of tilted its head at her, and then she just ran away, and it was just a wonderful little moment about time when the forests were filled with life and not artificially constructed. Even I know they're real trees, but they're all grown in labs and then replanted out there, and all the animals were all reintroduced there and stuff like that. So it doesn't feel natural, you know, for nature. Um, I hope that wasn't too much of a story.
It's it was nice. Thank you.
Okay, good. All right. Uh, Part 8. Silence. Pilot, You know that your broadcast will cut off when you are surrounded entirely by atmospheric plasma. It won't be long now before your communication line is severed. You have no idea if your ship will make it through to the ground, but it is now out of your hands. The course you and the operator have plotted is set, and all you can do is wait. You are hopeful, terrified, homesick, determined, and brave. Operator, the pilot is about to be shielded entirely in plasma. You know that your communication line will be severed. You can't be certain the ship will survive. You don't know what shape it is in, or even if the predictions you've helped chart are fully accurate, but you've done all you can, and the course is set. Your voice is soothing, nervous, sure, and kind. Pilot, you have just. Pilot and operator, you have just a moment of connection left. Pilot and operator, say goodbye to one another. Uh, Gwen, I'm about to lose you, but
Yeah, we're
come,
we're getting pretty close to that.
yeah, come find me. Nearest city just north at the crepe place. Okay, I'll be there waiting.
Oh. if I yeah, if I get through this landing okay, I'll find you.
Perfect.
Um, and maybe I can meet your bunny, your girlfriend.
I guarantee it.
Like we're just about. Oh, I'll see you soon, Carla.
That's it.
That's the game.
That's the game.
I liked this. I mean, I know I say that every week. I like every game we play.
That's why we play them. Yeah.
Yeah, this one is different from a lot of games we've played. There was a lot of room for like the storytelling and all, but it felt very like it was very step by step.
Hmm. I feel like this game would be really cool to do with like a third person as narrator.
Mm-hmm.
Um, which would be nice, I think. Um, yeah, I like the it's what I really like. It's structured in sort of a play
Mm-hmm.
narrative as if like the things are sort of determined and the way this game goes, it is like it's sort of putting you in in a box and giving you the tools to work within that box.
Yeah,
So it's like half improvised, half scripted, half
it does.
whatever.
It felt a little bit like performance art.
Yeah.
Um.
Yeah, that's sort of a lot of like games that we play are that games.
Mm-hmm.
This felt more like a performance than
Yeah.
this was like made to be normally for an audience of just two. But in this instance,
Mm-hmm.
made an audience of our 8 viewers.
Yeah. Like we've played games that have been like very emotionally heavy.
Hmm.
And those have been lovely games, but this felt like you said, like kind of a play.
Hmm.
Um,
And what's good about like a well-written play is that it knows when to push and release on emotions, strong
mm-hmm,
emotions especially, um, because as much as like stories that are just like emotion, 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 constantly berating you with feelings, um, like audiences do need a moment of like lift of catharsis, moment of just like,
yeah.
oh wow, like to really take in the emotion and then hit you right back to it.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and of course, any narrative that it ends on an ambiguous ending is always fun and lovely to me.
Yeah, I like just the like we said at the beginning, this game is like surface level similar to Apollo 47 Technical Handbook, which we played 2 weeks ago, in that it's someone in space and its voice is on the radio. But this one, I really like the built in moments of like I'm very nervous. This sucks. Distract me.
Mm-hmm.
That are just like so very human, um, and like kind.
For sure. For sure, for sure, for sure, for sure. All right. Thank you so much to Everest Pipkin for making this game. Thank you so much for everyone for joining us, especially everyone from Pieberry for
Yeah, thank you
rating
for
us.
coming.
Sorry that we didn't have a super long stream for you to join, but that's okay. Um, you can join us again, possibly on Wednesday when we're back for some video games.
Yes.
Or next Saturday, right? I know there's one Saturday upcoming that like we have to not do anything, I think, but definitely next Saturday, I'm pretty sure. But keep an eye on our Twitter and we will tell you when we will be streaming. But we'll be back here with another TTRPG of some kind. We have to think about that. We like to plan in batches sometimes, so we'll come out with the next couple weeks. Anyway,
Yeah.
super glad to have everyone. I'm rambling because I'm so nervous because I'm getting rated and it makes me feel so weird. Anyway, yeah.
Yeah. Well, be sure to check out Everest Pipkin on itch.io. This game was part of the bundle to support reproductive rights.
Is it still going?
Um, I'm not sure. It might be closed. No, it is still going for the next uh 31 hours.
Oh
No,
my gosh.
29 hours.
You have 29 hours to support this. Drop that link.
I will drop the link for the bundle into the chat.
Hey, there it is.
So, you can get this game and um 291 more for $5 or more if
Or
you
more.
choose to pay more. There's a bunch of cool stuff in this bundle.
It's all going to a very good cause, just like every other bundle that has come out in the past and recently. Um, always a great way to show support and to get good content. But always make sure you are actually going to those creators and supporting their other content, because they are being very, very generous in giving us their content to help support a cause, but they also need our support as well.
I like these bundles as a way to find new creators that I haven't played from before, and then I can figure out if I like their content, and then go spend $15 on one of their like not bundled games.
Exactly. So yeah, thank you so much for joining us once again. Until next time, stay happy, stay healthy, and as always, stay queer. I took it from you. Wait, you get to do it too. Stay happy, healthy, and
stay queer, folks.
hey, bye guys.
See you next